Welcome to the Sleazy Podcast, the podcast about anything and everything, but mostly TV and movies. And now it's time to get sleazy.
To all the bad, sexy bitches that might be single. I'm Marty Mike, 41 years old. I'm a goddamn legend. If you want to talk to me, talk to a legend, then just find my account, text me my inbox. We'll make something happen. If you about the money and PayPal, don't waste my time. But if you're real and you say that you're not fake, and if you don't got a boyfriend, then let me know. But if you got a boyfriend, don't hit me up. All right? So if you want to talk to a goddamn legend like me, a cool ass dude, Marty Mike, go to my inbox, write me. I'll have to talk to you.
I wish you would named off all the servers like PayPal, Cash App, Venmo,
Zell.
It's a man who knows what he wants.
He really is.
Don't be wasting my time.
I like that Money Mike has standards too.
right?
If you got a goddamn boyfriend, don't talk to me.
Go hit me up.
Don't talk to me. Does that feel like it's like Temu, like Stone Cold there? He's got some Stone Cold vibes going, doesn't he?
That might be worse. I don't know how that can be worse than Temu.
Wish list.
Wish.
This Money Mike, I'm a goddamn legend.
Dude, that is like a rejected like Stone Cold.
I want to
Steve
write
Austin.
him like, will you do like a opening for our show, one of
You
our
should.
shows? Like, this is Money Mike.
Listen to these legends.
Yeah,
Listen to these
guys.
motherfucking legends. All right, this is the Sleazy Podcast. This is episode 206. I'm your host, Sleazy, one of your hosts, anyways. I'm a goddamn legend, along with my other goddamn legends, Mr. PBS,
You know it.
and Robzilla.
Hello.
I forgot to pull up my my soundboard thing here, but we can get on this. You know, it's never too late to do this, I suppose, right?
Too late.
You were using a third party server. Yes, I know.
Rob, let him have it. Tell him he screwed up.
You done fucked up, you legend. Legends don't
Yeah,
fuck
that's what
up.
you're a legend of. You're a legend of fucking up.
I am.
No, I'm the king of that. That's
Well, I think I'm right there with you. I had a disastrous Sleazys, man. I was getting lost in every segment, it felt like. And
I was using my villain superpower on you.
bro, I think what it was is I just did so much the day before, and then even beforehand I was still trying to get ready, and it just razzled me. And I get like that when we do the big shows. I get a little razzled here and there because there's a lot that I want to get on. Then I couldn't see the time because we had the full screen up so we could see hot sauce, and I'm always worried about the time. And we did a 2-hour show last time. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Yeah, it was.
It was a 2-hour show, so I don't know what's the longest we've ever gone.
I have to look up.
But that's probably up there.
Usually that show usually is the longest anyway.
We gave you so much time on the horror segment this time, and you just took it over, dude.
Tried.
You owned it.
You were just confused. I was doing the Grogu from Mandalorian. Like,
yeah, I think that's what Rob was doing. Like, you're gonna fuck this segment up.
pull my arms back.
And that's what it was, because Rob picked Azuma. And remember, I was like, "Oh, Azuma's the winner now," and
no.
you were like kind of sitting over there, like, "Come on, wait, that's how did you get that?" And I'm like, well, "Didn't you do Azuma?" Rob was over there, mind melding me or whatever with his eyes, and he was like, "You will award Azuma the horror movie of the year.
You will be fucking up the rest of the show."
Yeah,
Hit you with that fog, the brain fog.
Kirsten Stewart instead of Kristen Stewart.
Why you say it like that? Like saying like what?
Well, and the thing was, I'm looking at the last person I read off, which was her, I believe. And I'm like, I'm just worried about, I'm, in my own thoughts while you guys were talking, worried about how the next segment was going to go. And I was like, what are you talking about? Her name's Kirsten. And you were like, no, it's Kristen. I'm like, hey, I'm looking right at it. It says Kirsten.
I'm like, yeah, Kirsten Dunst, and then there's Kristen Stewart.
God, man, I look like I had dementia last week towards the end of the show.
You looked at me like you're going to smack me. Like, that's your fucking fault.
No, it's not your fault.
I know. It's just funny, though.
Like I said, I just get a little razzled when we do those shows that are so put together.
Yeah.
And it's not just us bullshitting,
It's a big show.
Yeah.
It's a big show.
It's our biggest show of the year, the Sleazys. But we're on episode 206 right now, and here is the syllabus for this episode. But we're gonna open the show up with Val Kilmer. He passed away finally.
Rest in peace.
You gotta say it like that. Like,
Yeah.
finally.
Well, I mean, dude, how long did he? That's
he had
that's impressive.
throat
Yes.
cancer or whatever for
Yeah.
quite a while.
Time.
I mean, my grandmother had esophagus cancer, and there's really, I mean, it takes you pretty quick. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But so it's very impressive that Val Kilmer made it. I think he had it for like 10 years or something.
Well,
like
even
that,
like
didn't
in that documentary, like it was 2021. I mean, he was bad then.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
yeah.
surprised he even made it then.
he? I'm exaggerating when I say 10 years. I don't know how long he's had it. I'm sure we'll find out when we get into that. But then we'll have Zilla's Tubi pick. That's a new favorite. Some people exclusively listen to the show now just for Zilla's Tubi pick. So there's that shitty movie community that you are garnering for us.
Trying my best.
Then we're going to go into Whatchu Watchin. And if you're not familiar with that segment that we do, Whatchu Watchin is basically us just telling you what we've been watching, the past 2 weeks that we've been off. And then we're going to get into the Bondsman. And to close the show out, we're going to talk about the recent horror movie, Y2K, horror comedy, whatever you want to call it. And so how was everybody's couple weeks since we've been away?
It's been going.
It's been going.
With some time.
Yeah.
You've been fairly quiet on the messenger.
Yeah.
You get tired of us?
No.
Like when the messages go, because I hammer the messages sometimes.
Well, it's.
Sometimes, most
I
days.
always figure he's working on a secret project.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not telling us about it.
I'm trying to
But
take
he's
over the
really,
world.
but
I
he's
just
really
got-
just lazy.
What if Rob is like getting his master's and we just don't know about it, and he's really this genius and he doesn't have time to talk to us on the messenger?
I'm
I'm
waiting
getting my
for
master's in physics.
I'm waiting for him to like unleash like his own TikTok channel with like 100 TikTok he's been doing like over the weeks, or he's got like his own YouTube channel,
That would be awesome.
and he's just like banking content, And that kind of I told you guys before the show there was a little off topic I wanted to bring up. Maybe we've talked about this before, but I feel like social media just sucks even more.
It does.
Lately. We just got
it
off
does.
the phone with our buddy Dave, who got banned from some Meta platforms,
And he doesn't know what he did.
and yeah, but I made a couple TikToks, and as soon as you do that, you start getting like all these little notifications about like, do you want to promote this? Do you want to
Yep.
boost this? Here's how you can do this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
certainly I want people to see the couple little TikToks I put out, but I'm not like trying to be an influencer or start a business or anything. I get some people are trying to do that on there, and some people get a first or a second income from that. But I'm like, I'm not trying to monetize everything. And it's not just TikTok, it's all the other platforms are kind of like that way too.
So one of our videos on TikTok, I've mentioned this a couple shows ago, but one of our videos got reported and it didn't tell me what it got reported for. And then it didn't tell me that we had been reported. I just got a suspension that came through, and the suspension was on our promote abilities for the Sleazy podcast TikTok account, because I promote some of our videos to get our name out there, and we've gotten some listeners out of that. So it's a nice tool to use.
Right.
But they gave me a 10-year ban, and they won't tell me what I did. It's not clear. I'm like, what did I do so I know to fix this?
Right.
And there's no warning. They just suspend you. And I've appealed, and I just get denied. I wrote to an email that somebody said to go to, and they were like, yeah, this is the one they'll take care of you. I got a response from it. Like, we're actively working on this. Never heard anything back. Followed up with it. Never heard anything back. Followed up with it. Never heard anything back. So something's going on. And now I've noticed like the videos that we upload, and I've got a whole chart of days, times that you need to upload your videos to get it in the rotation of the algorithm. And we have been getting throttled like a motherfucker. So something's up there,
And even like, TikTok is just kind of like the latest victim. Like TikTok was pretty cool until all the politics stuff kind of got in.
Right.
Man,
They had to start bending the knee to Trump and all that stuff.
And the algorithms definitely changed.
Yeah, ever since that first 24-hour ban or whatever you want to call the blackout happened.
Yeah.
It definitely hasn't been the same since then. And but it's not just TikTok either. It's like, I got my own little Instagram feed. I'll post like a screenshot of a movie I'm watching or something. No big deal. Like I say, I'm not trying to engage with the world or anything. It's just like, hey, that's kind of what I'm watching. And even those, like, I don't have like I said, I don't have a ton of followers on Instagram either, but like even the people who I do follow, the people who follow me back, they aren't seeing that stuff. And I know that's the same with like Facebook. Like, I always think about like birthdays on Facebook. It used to be like Facebook was always hitting you with like, oh, somebody's birthday today. Like first notification was up, somebody's birthday today, Robzilla's birthday today, Sleazy's birthday today. And now it's like you'll see something a couple of days later where like a friend of a friend wished somebody a happy birthday. Like, oh, I didn't even see that.
I fucking missed George's birthday.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even see that. Nobody told me.
Yeah.
And like it's these algorithms and
I've noticed
the interface itself.
Since the election, I've noticed in particular that Facebook just has all kinds of bullshit now that wasn't there the past 8 years, you know? But so yeah, something's up there, and you know, you can't tell me it hasn't changed. And like I get stuff in my feed of people I don't even follow. Like I don't want to see that shit. But I understand that there's a friends feed and then there's your regular feed. Like, come on, man. It used to be so much better.
Yeah, like I understand the feeds and I understand like stuff getting caught in the algorithm and stuff gets boosted and promoted and paid for to be in your feed. But I'm just like, it's just so much that anymore where it's like not to use it because like are the people I'm actual friends with who I'm trying to engage with a little bit even seeing anything?
Yeah.
And it's usually no. Like I think we talked about before, like when there was like a big sporting event or something. You know, especially when like the Buckeyes, you'd see 5 or 10 people like live posting the game.
It was like a giant conversation, and now you don't even see that.
Yeah, maybe a couple of days like, oh, somebody was posting about it. I would have liked to have engaged with that a little bit or something.
Yeah, people just don't see our shit, and people don't see your shit when you post. So,
like I say, it's just like your friends, like people who mutually follow each other. It seems like it's just it's taken all the fun out of social media. It made it crappier, and they want your money. And Corey Doctorow talks about enshittification. You should definitely look him up if you get the chance. It's just about how all these, especially tech companies, are just really bad about just continually making their product worse for more money.
There's times I wish I had the device from Escape from LA, just hit that 666 and just reset everything.
Every year that movie gets more and more relevant. I know it's not one of Carpenter's best, but
what a gorgeous blue eye.
How you say relevant, but it's like how many of John Carpenter's movies are more and more relevant as time passes?
There's just certain movies that are.
How many get reclaimed? The Thing gets reclaimed. Why did it escape me? Roddy Piper.
Oh, They Live.
They Live. Yeah, They Live gets sort of reclaimed. It was sort of like kind of a mid-ish movie. Now it was like, oh yeah, look at that. You know,
They Live is like it's just a product of a genius. You know, like. The messaging, the sublime messaging that he puts in there. I mean, it all is relative to the world we live in. And yeah, man, John Carpenter was on his shit.
He really was.
I mean, he had that stretch of movies that were like back to back, and it's just so good.
He finally got his star.
So we didn't put that in there. We have because it happened in the last 2 weeks, but he got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Who else got it? Him and
don't even say her name.
Can't remember her name.
Gal Gadot got one like around the
same time. It got destroyed, didn't it?
Max Lord. I haven't even seen that movie, so I can't make.
How did Gal Gadot get a star?
It's all about money. It's just about money.
Yeah.
I don't. There's
she donated or something probably.
There's a few actual requirements, but one of them is it takes like you have to pay like $75,000 for it and for maintenance on it.
Oh,
and that's why there's a lot of maybe like famous people or kind of like maybe character actors who aren't in their prime anymore. They can't afford that. So that's why they don't have one. So it's really all about money. But yeah, that's kind of my rant. It started out with the TikTok thing and it's kind of went to the rest of social media. I'm just like, what happened to MySpace? What happened to just
decorate my page and just be happy?
Being like in a big group chat, basically.
Yeah. I think we need MySpace. So, like when I'm mad at Rob, I could just drop him out of my top 8.
Yep.
And he'd be like, message is sent, bro. I need to get my shit together,
like, oh shit, what happened?
Like you're not my top friend anymore, dude. You need to start showing up to shit and stop, flaking out on things.
You're not my top 5, bitch.
MySpace put people in their place.
Right? You're out.
You're out.
Like,
it's like, I don't even know what I did. Oh, you know what you
did. Like if you're dating a girl back in the day and like all of a sudden you're out of her top 8, like, oh fuck. I'm done.
I'm toast.
Yep, she's breaking up with me.
What fuck boy is she talking to now?
Just waiting on that message in my MySpace thing. Like, it's not working out anymore.
What did you tell her, Sarah? I didn't do it.
Then you might put somebody in your top 8, and they're like, "What? Why the fuck am I in his top 8? This guy's.
Am I not good enough?"
The answer to that is always no, Rob.
That was something I looked up because, like I said, I was kind of thinking about this day. I was listening to Cory Doctorow, and he said, I didn't remember this, but back in the day, Facebook, to like poach people from MySpace, they came up with something that like it pretended to be your MySpace account, so you could get your MySpace messages on Facebook and reply to them.
Yeah,
and I forget what he called it. But like it's actually kind of like illegal now. Like if you did that to Facebook, like Zuckerberg would.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Hissy fit and cry.
I just saw something. I don't know how true this is. It was like
no, Sleazy. You do not just post the notification that you don't want Mark Zuckerberg to have access to your photos.
Yeah. No, not any of that.
That was making a comeback a week or two ago for some reason.
This was a tweet I saw. I might have shared it with you guys, but do we still call them tweets, or are they X's?
I'm calling
it's an X post. It's always going to be a tweet.
I still call it a tweet.
I feel like that upsets Elon Musk. So
I think Elon even calls them tweets.
Yeah. He's been kind of absent in the media here lately, but
you don't want to lose more money.
Right. Anyway, so back to that. I saw this thing, and it was an interview or something with testimony from some Facebook executive, I guess. And she was saying that they were playing ball with China, and they were like, yeah, we will gladly store some information on China servers for a kickback of, something to do with China or whatever. Because, China doesn't let Facebook in there, I don't think.
Or it might be like restricted.
But it's the same fucking thing that they're like all on TikTok's ass about. But meanwhile, you got, because Mark Zuckerberg donates all this money to whoever, he's allowed to get a pass from it, but TikTok's not. So, I mean, it's just so hypocritical, and it's all about money.
Right.
That's all it is.
Mark can get fucked too.
These American billionaires, they want that TikTok money, and they're going to fucking get it.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to get
sooner or later.
They're going to get every dime they want from it.
They're billionaires. Why would they want more money? Because they're billionaires. They want more money.
That's their MO is hoarding as much. They're hoarders. They hoard money instead of fucking baby carriages and
that's what my dad told me for years. He said there was an interview with some wealthy guy, and the guy said, the interview asked him like, how much money is enough? When will you stop? And the guy's like, I'm just going after the next dime. Like he's never stopping. I want the next dime. And nowadays it's I want the next penny. I want the next part of a penny.
Yeah.
I
want a piece of your social security number while I'm at it. Is what I want.
Right.
So.
That's what they want. They're going to get it. Just like George Carlin said, they're going to get it eventually, and they're going to get every dime of it. And then when you go to retire, you're going to be like, why am I homeless?
Yeah.
At least we have Bill Burr for now.
Why can't I pay the shitty rent on my studio apartment?
My 400 square feet that costs $1,800 a month.
It's because your Social Security's gone, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry about your luck. And they gambled away your 401k too. So
I miss George Carlin. We got some dumb motherfuckers walking around here.
he was so spot on like everything.
Yep.
Not just a couple things, everything. Yeah. But
so that's my rant. Down with capitalism, eat the rich, all that stuff.
I'm with you, dude.
I love it.
I'm so tired of it, dude.
I'm tired of them.
The thing that really upsets me nowadays is these people that simp for these billionaires.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Like
the temporarily embarrassed millionaires. That's what they're called.
Right.
I'm gonna be rich one day, baby.
No, you're not.
I still say this. I don't know what fucking universe I live in that they simp for these fucking billionaires. Like,
dude, I'm 100% certain that when they fired up CERN that one time, it just knocked us into a parallel universe.
It probably did.
Where people all think they're going to become billionaires. And
I still believe the Fruit of the Loom Mandela effect. I know that cornucopia was real. I know it.
Do you? I feel like I remember seeing it.
I swear I've seen that on the cornucopia on an old pair of underwear or undershirt or something.
So when you get deep into those Mandela effects,
that's maybe the only one I really believe.
What about the Star Wars one?
Which one?
Luke, I am your father. It's not.
No. It was never. That was just.
I remember hearing Luke, I am your father.
Yeah.
Well, that was probably somebody misquoting it.
Probably,
and
that could have
Chris
created.
Farley does that in Tommy Boy. He says, "I'm your father,"
and that could have created a false memory.
That's what I think. like
Then there's
99% of Mandela effects are just misremembering.
There's a
something.
Forrest Gump one too. Like I don't. It's something.
I think
like,
I've seen that one, but yeah,
he doesn't say life is like a box of chocolates or something like that.
that's another one. I remember that one being misquoted a lot, even back then. The one,
But
you shared it going around.
It doesn't help when they advertised it on the back of the box with the misquote,
Right,
too.
right. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and I think that's like stuff. But it's weird that there's this giant false memory that goes. So maybe there is something to it. Who knows? Maybe there is.
A glitch in the matrix.
Let me see here. Forrest Gump Mandela effect. I don't even have to type the whole thing in. Isn't that great? Let's see here.
Jenny.
God damn it, Forrest.
It's all these 50, a list of 50. Like, why doesn't somebody just have this?
Need a top 5.
Oh, there's a YouTube video of it. Okay. Let's share it. Let's share it. Why not?
The original VHS says, life is like a box of chocolates. Life is. Listen to the movie of the original VHS. Quiet.
You want a chocolate?
You want a chocolate?
I could eat about 1.5 million of these. My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
What the hell is that? Life was like a box
You
of
never know
chocolates?
what you're going to get.
Yeah, but he's talking about what his mom used to say. So
Yeah.
his mom would have said life was like a box, not like
Right.
I think it's just obviously everybody went around saying life is like a box of chocolates. But like I say, that's just a misquote, I think, or whatever you want to call it.
It's funny though. Like a friend of mine's dad, he swears up and down. He's like, I remember watching Mandela's funeral on TV. And I'm like, bro, I remember seeing him speak when I was a young kid. Like, he didn't die.
Yeah, because I listened to like old C-SPAN interviews and stuff from people around in the 80s, and I don't ever remember Mandela dying. I don't remember the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
yeah.
Call it the cornucopia effect, because I absolutely believe that.
I mean, it is what it is. But all right, I guess
Probably capitalism's fault too.
I guess we bullshitted enough here.
Never enough.
But man, now I'm like off of this studio here. I can't see the timer. What are they doing to me?
I think it's zoomed in again. Remember it did that one time?
Yeah,
I don't remember how you unzoom it.
I forget how
I think you have to take your screen out of something or whatever.
Yeah. I could just there we go. Okay, so
I don't like seeing Robzilla's face that big.
I know, right? It's just terrible.
I'm already next to it.
Already got to hear his breathing.
Once you stop breathing.
Yeah, it's like when you present it, zooms in or something. It's weird. Okay, Val Kilmer, star of Batman Forever Tombstone, dies at 65. This is from Variety.com, by the way. If you can't see that. Some people can't. They listen to us. Val Kilmer, who played Bruce Wayne in Batman Forever, channeled Jim Morrison in Oliver Stone's The Doors, and starred as a tubercular Doc Holliday in Tombstone, died Tuesday in Los Angeles. His daughter Mercedes told the New York Times the cause was pneumonia. He was 65. He had been battling throat cancer for several years. So maybe I wasn't too far off on the
2014. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much 11 years in. Yeah.
As we're getting older, it's weird. Like you tell me like Val Kilmer was 65. Like, what do you mean Val Kilmer was 65?
Right. I still feel like he's like 40,
Like it almost made me a little less sad in a way. Like, oh, he was 65. But in my head, he's like, how old's Val Kilmer? 40s, 50s? What?
Yeah.
Like, oh, 65? Well, that's not just so young anymore.
So Kilmer's reps did not immediately respond to Variety's request for comment. The babyface blonde actor had a solid run as a leading man with a volatile reputation in the 80s and 90s, starring in Top Gun, Real Genius, Willow, Heat, and The Saint. He returned briefly to the screens in 2022's Top Gun Maverick, although he can no longer speak due to his cancer. Yeah, that was kind of tough to watch.
Yeah, I'm glad he got that one.
Yeah.
That was really his goodbye in a way.
Yeah. And most people don't get that.
Yeah.
And they showed where his kids were actually in the funeral scene.
Right.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset that nobody says Top Gun when these articles about his death. Like you would think like star of Top Gun and whatever, like it's Tom Cruise
I think
overshadowing.
a lot of people remember him in Top Gun, even though he's more of a supporting actor in that one. But everybody remembers the thing he does with I can't do it. The thing he does with his teeth where he chomps them together.
Yeah, that was
and the volleyball scene. Everybody remembers that.
Yeah,
he was a great part of the movie. He was.
Right.
I don't know if you call him the antagonist, but I mean,
kind of.
Yeah. He was the competition for Maverick.
The ice.
When you say Top Gun, I think Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer always.
Yeah. It's not just Tom Cruise; it's Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how good Val Kilmer was. Like he stole the show away from Tom Cruise in his own movie. In 2021, a documentary on his life called Val was released. I think you can watch that on Amazon Prime still.
I still need to watch that. I was hoping to get to it in between.
I watched a good chunk of it a couple years ago, and it was pretty entertaining.
I think his daughter directed it, and his son did the narration.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. His son provided the actor's voice. We would know if we just kept reading. And film utilized hundreds of hours of video he had recorded over the years, giving a revealing look at the sets he worked on and showing the actor to be an introspective thinker with an artist's soul. That really they captured him right there, didn't they? Kilmer took over from Michael Keaton for Joel Schumacher's 1995 Batman Forever, receiving mixed reviews for his take on The Dark Knight. He was replaced by George Clooney for 1997's Batman and Robin, a notorious flop that nearly killed the franchise. The New York Times said of Batman Forever, the prime costume is now worn by Val Kilmer, who makes good Batman, but not a better one than Michael Keaton. Makes a good Batman. Yeah. He really did. I felt like they held him back in that movie.
Well, he even said he felt held back.
Yeah. I mean, there's just the way they had him portrayed and that whole I never was a fan of how they tried to
psychological
use the trauma to build Bruce Wayne. I mean, it is what it is, but
I thought he's a good Batman, but he just didn't fit Bruce Wayne in my opinion.
I think you got it backwards, Rob. He was a fine Bruce
Wayne. He was a fine Bruce Wayne, really? But Joel Schumacher fucking wrote it bad and they just couldn't. I feel like he could have done a way better job.
I don't know. I think if he'd have been in a more serious, Tim Burton kind of Batman, maybe, but I think he worked good in a Schumacher kind of campy Batman. I think Schumacher just overdid it. We've talked about it before. There's just so much I dislike about what Schumacher,
you could tell
did with that.
Joel Schumacher is a fan of the '60s Batman, big time.
And I wish he'd have dialed it back just a little bit.
And, I don't think anybody's bad in those movies. It's just they're so campy that it's really off-putting for a lot of people. So if you're not particularly a fan of the 60s Batman, it's not for you.
Right.
And I feel like they cast the right people. I mean, Jim Carrey's the Riddler, Tommy Lee Jones is Two-Face.
Even what was the fourth Batman called?
Batman Forever or Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin, yeah.
I always get them backwards. And
even that,
I don't have a problem with Clooney as Batman either.
No. And even I love Chris O'Donnell as Robin. I thought he was the perfect Robin back in the day. And then Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl. What a home run they hit there.
Right. Yeah.
But it's just so goddamn cheesy. And Arnold was a good Mr. Freeze, but the puns they put in there, it's enough. I got it, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you're going to have Arnold, you got to do the puns with that one. I still would like to see a more serious Mr. Freeze, but I like it. If you're gonna do a over the top Mr. Freeze, Arnold's fine.
I really hope we get Mr. Freeze and something serious. I think we will eventually. They got to.
Gotta have it.
I mean, it's one of Batman's biggest foes, and to not have him on the big screen yet is a crime.
Well, especially since they redid the Riddler and Matt Reeves. I mean, they can definitely redo.
Did you like Jim Carrey as the Riddler? I loved him.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I remember
it was made for Jim Carrey. It's made for Jim Carrey.
Even I really enjoyed Tommy
Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face. I thought he was great.
And I saw there's an interview with Jim Carrey saying that Tommy Lee Jones absolutely fucking hated him.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's hilarious though.
You can see the clips of Tommy Lee Jones talking about the movie.
Yeah,
in those the interviews in between the movie and its release, and you could just tell he's like, nah, fuck this movie.
Yeah.
I feel like they all felt like they were promised a Tim Burton sequel, and they weren't.
I still love Christopher Nolan's take on Two-Face. burn victim. I just thought
Yeah,
I thought
that
it
was good.
great.
He did it really good.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny though. Have you heard Val Kilmer talk about being offered the role?
Yeah, he said no, I'm not doing it.
No. Yeah, he said he didn't read the script. He took it for Batman.
Okay, I thought you meant for the sequel.
He was actually in a bat cave. They said out doing research for another movie. I think it was a bat cave, all the way across the other side of the world. And he gets the call or whatever saying, "Hey, you got the job. It's yours if you want it. We'll fax you the scripts." He's like, "No need.
Yeah.
I'm doing it."
Well, I mean, we kind of forget now, but like when Batman 89 came out, it held. I was listening to somebody talk about the box office in 89. Like it was like the top grossing movie like ever, and then or opening weekend or whatever. And then Ghostbusters came out that same year or something, and like maybe Indiana Jones was out that year. So there was a whole bunch of movies that did that. And then Batman Returns came out, and it was like the biggest opening weekend ever or whatever.
Yeah.
So of course you're gonna be like, Batman, yeah, I'm the new Batman.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
So to continue on here, after reportedly turning down a role in Francis Ford Coppola's The Outsiders, Kilmer broke out with a starring role in the 1984 spy spoof Top Secret, in which he played a rock star and sang his own songs, following his turn as a brainy college student in the 1985 sci-fi comedy Real Genius. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
I watched it all the time as a kid. I love that movie.
I've seen like parts of it, but never like sat down and watched it. I'll have to do that.
I loved it.
He became a major star, appearing opposite Tom Cruise in the worldwide hit Top Gun. Kilmer met his future wife, actress Joanne Whalley. Did I say that right? Is it Whaley? Wally Whaley? On the set of Ron Howard's fantasy film Willow. That's a Robzilla joint there.
Oh my God, I love Willow.
And then he appeared with her in Kill Me Again in 1989. One of his most memorable roles was playing a charismatic and doomed Morrison in Oliver Stone's 1991 The Doors. Kilmer memorized the lyrics to all of all of Morrison's songs before his audition, and he immersed himself in the role, wearing clothes similar to the singers for close to a year. Jeez, that is some commitment. Robert Ebert wrote of his turn as Jim Morrison, "The performance is the best thing in the movie, and since nearly every scene centers on Morrison, that is not small praise."
I think he sang all the songs to himself. I think.
Yeah. After Batman Forever, New Line persuaded him to come on board the troubled production of The Island of Dr. Monroe. That was a movie I watched all the time back in the day. It was always on like HBO, and I just watch it.
Yeah.
Where Kilmer tangled with both of the film stars, Marlon Brando and director John Frankenheimer. Frustrations on the production mounted when Brando refused to come to set, and the documentary Val revealed a tense set where crew members were grimly joked about Brando's stand-in named Norm. Frankenheimer, the second director to work on completing the film, reportedly said, "There are two things I will never, ever do in my whole life. The first is that I will never climb Mount Everest. The second is that I'll never work with Val Kilmer ever again." Damn, that's when somebody says that must be bad.
And I think what it is that he only had problems with directors because he's like a perfectionist. I think there was like an interview with Danny Trejo, and he's like, he was great with people. He's like super nice. And
it's been a long time since I've seen that. Did he play? Brando played the doctor, right?
Yeah, he was more like the wrangler.
And Val was like somebody
right-hand wrangler. Creatures, basically.
In the 1990s, Kilmer starred in Michael Apted's Western Thunderheart and The Real McCoy, and had a small but memorable role as an Elvis-like mentor in Tony Scott's True Romance. I remember that.
Yeah.
His role as a sardonic Doc Holliday in Tombstone, 1993, was one of his most beloved performances. And in 1995, he appeared in Heat alongside Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. So, I mean, those are like, I think when you look at like Val Kilmer movies, I mean, obviously like Top Gun is one of it, but Tombstone and Heat, like he is just on, like that is like peak Val Kilmer.
Yeah. The thing I think about Val Kilmer a lot is I think he really had more misses than hits.
Yeah, definitely.
But like his hits are so like, I don't know if I want to say iconic, but they're just so memorable. Like you say, Iceman, Doc Holliday, Heat, these are movies that people still watch regularly, these 20, 30, going on 40 years later now.
Yeah, definitely is, man. And I would say Doc Holliday's iconic.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's my best friend.
I ain't got many friends.
Dude, that scene where what's his face comes up and is twirling the guns to him, and he twirls the shot glass, and he's like, and everybody laughs the dude out of the bar. Like, that is just great.
That's the rumor.
And have you ever seen somebody, like, acting is such a skill. Like, not only does he pull the character off, but he pulls off looking sick so well.
Yeah. You're like, that man is sick. Does he really?
That is a man that has honed his skill and is just displaying it.
Just like the monologue alone at the end with him and Wyatt or Kurt Russell was, if you love me as your friend, you leave me right now. It's like, oh my God.
Nothing makes me want to roll my eyes harder than people who always do the Huckleberry line. Like, I get it.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
You're a divorced dad or something. I get it.
Are we playing for blood?
I love when he steals the badge and he finally, what's the character that he's trying to kill? I forget it. Is it it's not a Bill, is it? There at the end, he catches up to the guy and he's like, I'm gonna kill you this time.
This is my movie confession. I've never seen Tombstone all the way through.
What?
I just had to watch it recently.
I can't say anymore.
It's another one I've been meaning to watch. I've seen pieces of it through the years, but I've never sat down.
The amount
and
of people who's in that movie is shocking. You just don't realize.
You never
a young Billy Bob Thornton's in it.
Yeah.
Who's the guy with the deep voice?
Yeah, Michael Rooker's in it.
Powers Booth.
Who's the guy with the deep voice who does?
Oh, Sam something.
Sam Elliott.
Yeah, like Sam Elliott's in it. You never see clips of him or nothing. Like he might have been one of the more famous people at the time.
He's kind of like the
stable brother or whatever.
He's the older brother.
Yeah, he's just kind of like the guy that's with the gang, Yeah. But they have this fucking shootout in the movie, and Val Kilmer's all sweaty and he's just fucking sick the whole movie, and they're having this shootout with the other gang, and he just flips this fucking like poncho or whatever he's got off of him. He's like bam, 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 and you're like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah. Well, was the guy from Terminator, Michael
Biehn?
Biehn, yeah, he was Johnny Ringo, but I think that's the one he was trying to kill at the end. He's like, are we playing for blood? He's like, I was just fooling around. He's like, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's one bad dude.
I wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, the Huckleberry, yeah, but there's certain things like that's what's badass.
There's a part where they're playing cards and he beats the shit out of this dude in cards, and he's like talking, the guy's like talking shit to him, and he's like, I've got an idea. Why don't we have a spelling test? And you're just like, he fucking burned him. That was awesome. All right. He went on to star in The Ghost in the Darkness, and the forgettable remake, The Saint. That one was kind of.
I know you just watched that.
Yeah, I rewatched
I sat
that.
down to rewatch that too.
It could have been such a good movie, and it just doesn't deliver.
It came out of like a year after Mission Impossible, and you can tell Val wanted us to be his Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
He wanted to do these characters and wear the makeup and all that, and it's just the movie's not
like he's not bad in it.
He's fine,
but I totally forgot what's her face was Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah.
She was forever a babe.
Yeah,
forever a babe. Elizabeth Shue is.
I think part of the problem with that movie is because I read up about it. They changed like the whole ending because in the original ending she's supposed to die in the end, and he's supposed to go on like, I'll be a good guy forever now or whatever.
Yeah,
and that's if you haven't watched it in a while, just keep it fondly in your memory.
Yeah,
and don't feel the need to rewatch it.
I feel like with a different director, like somebody that was a good, today they could rock a fucking Saint movie. Obviously,
yeah. The whole. It's fine. It's not like a bad movie or anything, but it's definitely.
I'd like to see a series out of that. That'd be cool.
It's a movie that really should have led to one if the movie itself had been kind of better.
Yeah, it's just that movie is just poor directing and writing.
Yeah,
like
there's a weird scene where are they in Russia? They're in Moscow, and she's come to look for him after he stole her formula, and like. He kind of finally lets her on like, hey, the Russian mob is after us. The Russian government and the mob is after us. And he's like, well, we'll sell your formula. And like, she runs away from him. Like, why are you running away from the one guy who's going to help you get out of Russia?
Right.
I get it. He's kind of not exactly on your side, but what are you going to do? What are you doing?
It's a lot of stupid shit, man.
It's a very silly 90s movie, which, are still kind of fun in their own way.
Okay. The Saint, which he shot instead of returning as Batman and Batman and Robin. So he turned down
He said he wasn't going to do it.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
I think I've seen like interviews where he said he like really hated the suit and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, those suits weigh like 80 pounds, man.
No mobility either.
Yeah, those old ones anyway. He
ones.
probably didn't want bat nipples either, you know. Yeah. But okay, Kilmer implied he didn't return as Batman because of scheduling issues, though Schumacher's description of him as a psychotic could have also been a factor.
I really wish there were some like neutral or unbiased like stories. Like I want to know, like, was he really as crazy as they kind of say he is? So many people say it may be true.
In this article, it seems to be reoccurring issue.
What I've heard too is mostly he's the issues with the directors, but not other people. It's always been the issue.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'd like to know.
It'd be interesting to hear like Robert De Niro and then speak about him. Like, was he really a psycho? But then, who knows? Maybe they are too. So.
I remember there was like audio footage of like with Dr. Island and Dr. Moreau with like him.
That whole movie was a shit show.
Yeah. I mean, I know that was.
That is one that probably should have just been canned.
Yeah.
There's like a whole documentary, I forget what it's called, about the making of that movie, about how
it was horrible,
terrible it was.
Yeah.
After the mid-1990s, the studio roles dwindled amidst his reputation as a difficult and combative. And he appeared mostly in independent films and supporting roles, such as Stone's poorly reviewed Alexander. I've never seen that one. Born in Los Angeles, Kilmer was raised in Chatsworth and attended Hollywood professional school and Juilliard school. Yeah. Why is it all these people who come out of Juilliard are like psychos, it seems like?
Yeah. They're very serious about their craft.
Yeah.
Whatnot.
He appeared off Broadway in The Slab Boys, co-starring Sean Penn and Kevin Bacon, before his TV role in after-school special One Too Many, which also starred Michelle Pfeiffer. That's another forever babe right there.
Mm-hmm.
He did voices for animated films, including The Prince of Egypt. His other films included At First Sight, Red Planet, Pollock, The Salton Sea, Wonderland, and The Missing. Kilmer continued work in films, including Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. That was another good one with Robert Downey Jr.
It's been a long time. I've been wanting to rewatch it, but he was funny in that.
That's one I was trying to find, but it's not. I don't think it's streaming anywhere.
Yeah.
Deja Vu with Denzel Washington was another good one.
Yeah.
Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, and The Snowman. Yeah, he definitely fell off there, man.
Yeah.
Such sad because he's a great talent. A lifelong Christian Scientist. This is what really did him in here.
Mm-hmm.
Kilmer was unwilling to confirm his cancer diagnosis when it was revealed by Michael Douglas in 2016. He combined his fascination with Christian Science, founder Mary Baker Eddy, with his love of Mark Twain in a screenplay that featured the two figures. He toured the country with his one-man show, Citizen Twain, for several years, which incorporated film and live readings of the humorous work. In 2012, Kilmer received Grammy nomination for Best Spoken Word for an audio production of Zorro. His memoir, I'm Your Huckleberry, named for a line in Tombstone, was published in 2020. Kilmer lived for many years on a ranch in New Mexico, where he continued to own land after selling off most of his the ranch. He also painted and helped oversee theater programs for high schoolers to perform Twain and Shakespeare. He was divorced from Wally in 1996 and is survived by a daughter, Mercedes, and son, Jack. Yeah, man, that just sucks, man. You know, what are you going to do, you know?
I watched Ghost in Darkness all the time.
That's one I've never seen it. It used to be on like TNT and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
I've never seen that one.
And it wasn't streaming anywhere either.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
I went to movie theaters and seen that. Because I loved it. It's just crazy.
I love I didn't realize, or maybe I did, and I always kind of forget, like Top Secret was his first movie.
Yeah.
And I love Top Secret. It's like one of my favorite comedies.
I don't think I haven't seen that.
So what's your favorite Val Kilmer performance?
Probably favorite is probably Doc Holliday favorite, but movie wise, it's kind of hard to say. Like I love like The Real Genius, always have that, and Willow. I always love.
I was gonna say I'm just waiting for Willow to come out of your mouth because you speak of that movie weekly.
I love it.
I hadn't seen Real Genius in a long time. I saw it when I was younger, but I had the for whatever reason I bought it on 4K like maybe last year.
Uncle Rico's in it,
and I've just had
Is he really?
Yeah, Jonathan Rice, and I've just kind of had it sitting in the watch pile, so it gave me a chance to finally watch it for the first time in like 20 years. But, you know, I mean, Iceman, Top Gun. I mean, it's. Willow. I need to revisit Willow. It's been a few years since I watched Willow. I'm not like a big lover of Willow, but it's pretty good. And I never saw. I know it was like a big deal when it came out, but I've never seen the Doors movie.
I haven't either.
That's one movie where I've seen tons of clips of it, and
Same.
it's never been like on start. I've never caught it from the start, so I've just never watched it all the way. I need to watch it because everybody says his performance in the Doors is like spot on.
Yeah.
Like I say, I mean, younger me loved Batman Forever.
Yeah.
Older me, not quite so much, but he's fine in it. Heat. I mean, he is like an all-time classic. I don't know if it's in my top 10 movies of all time, but it's probably up there.
It's up there for me.
He's a stone cold killer in that movie.
Yeah, he is.
Like, I love that, when news of him passing happened and all these people were covering it, everyone mentioned that the Marines train people on how to reload the assault rifles on that. They're like, this is how you reload it. Like, that's how much of how much respect he took to the roles. He mastered reloading. It's insane, man.
It's still one of the most iconic gunfight scenes.
It really is. Yeah. I mean, that to me is the whole movie there. I mean, that fight at the end is just, it's amazing.
It was just hard because, I mean, you got Al Pacino and Robert De Niro in that movie too, and they so good. The whole like dinner scene with them is still like top 10 in my opinion.
Yeah. He was a great guy, man. I mean, if I'm going to go like, what's my favorite Val Kilmer performance? I mean, Tombstone is just he's so amazing in that. So, I mean, that's probably my favorite performance. And then obviously, if you're asking me something that's more iconic, I would say Top Gun.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think he really pushes Tom Cruise in that movie and propels it to another level.
I don't even like Top Gun all that much, but he's just, I mean, you think Tom Cruise, you think Goose, and you think Iceman.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, it's Iceman. He's a badass. Yeah, and he was good in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang too.
I still need to see that. Like I said,
I've seen clips and I laughed so hard when he's just messing with Robert.
That's kind of like Robert Downey Jr.'s like rebirth there.
Well, that's what. I think that's kind of like, I don't know if I consider it quite a cult classic. But that's kind of what it gets lumped in with these last decade or whatever. But somebody made a video or whatever, and they're like, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is the movie where Val Kilmer and RDJ, like, they crisscross each other at the exact point in their career where Val Kilmer is really starting to go downhill and RDJ is really starting to make his comeback because he did like Iron Man like right after it or the same year or something. Yeah. And they just said it was really funky that they get in one movie kind of at the same point in their careers going opposite directions.
Yeah, that is, man, that's an interesting thing. I never thought about that like that. But yeah, you're right. That's like the end of Val Kilmer right there. Right. And, the propelling of Robert Downey Jr. So a very interesting take there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Good on them. Like I say, that was good to see the outpouring. Like I say, in a way, I do think of Kilmer as mainly like a 90s actor.
Yeah.
And it was good to see so many people come out and say, oh yeah, I love Val Kilmer.
It was nice to see people genuinely say nice things about him, especially after you hear about how he wasn't probably the best person to work with. Right. It sounds like, but when somebody dies, sometimes you just have to remember the great things they did, except for like rapists and murderers and stuff like that. A little bit different. That's way different. But yeah, but rest in peace, Val Kilmer. We had to talk about him. So
oh yeah,
you know what time it is now, though. It's time for Zilla's Tubi pick of the week.
Pick of the week.
Did you? We'll have to make like a proper meme of it.
Yeah.
But we talked about it in the group chat, like Netflix, Flicks and Chill. No, Robzilla wants Tubi and boobies.
I have an idea for a T-shirt.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to make it. It's a matter of like, I'm still thinking about how I want to do it,
Right.
So, and then sitting down and playing with everything and getting it to look the way I want.
But it's coming, Zilla.
It's coming.
I'll just say this. I have a PNG that I want to incorporate into it that I found. So, because, you got to do something with that actually has like looks like boobies in
Right,
there.
right.
So,
Of course.
but it's coming. It's coming. That's for sure. So, what are you going to hip us to this week?
All right. So
And
we're
full disclosure, I have yet to watch a Tubi pick.
I know it's even funnier.
It's not that I don't want to. I just haven't been in a mood to watch them. We need to create a spreadsheet with all of your Tubi picks and like honorable
He
mention.
could make a letterbox list.
Yeah, you could, dude.
I'll have to. Okay, I'll do that because I have to. I have to go through. There's like I have so many other movies saved. I have not even.
We should just have like a Google Drive that people can look up, you know, and that's it.
Pick what shitty movie I need to watch this week.
Yeah.
My problem always with watching bad movies is I don't have enough time to watch the good movies I want to watch.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, he won't even watch like good shit. So it's hard for him to fit a Robzilla Tubi pick in.
Exactly. So we're going to do an honorable mention here. We're going to do, I actually got this from one of our followers and fans of the show, Alexis.
She's a fan of you.
She's a fan.
She's not really a fan of the show.
So Alexis, Chainsaw Massacre. So she
Alexis
watches
Chainsaw, isn't it?
Chainsaw Massacre.
Is it Massacre? I don't think
it's Massacre at the end.
Okay.
So she watched the movie.
Fuck.
She was in the mood for.
Hey, horror fucks.
She's awesome.
She is, dude.
So she's in the mood for like really shitty like B movie like shark movies. So I watched this one she mentioned and watched. So it's called Ouija Shark, just like a Ouija board. So it's a Ouija Shark.
Okay. What? Can you send me a link or can you?
Yeah, it's on the profile. Well, it's in the Sleazy podcast group. I put it in there for the letterbox.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I made sure to do it. That's the honorable mention. So I gave that a 1 because there's actually like 3 moments where I laughed my ass off because it was so bad. It's just so bad.
I feel like those movies you have to watch with other people.
Now, if I had a couple edibles, that movie would have been amazing. Because I laughed at there's like two or three parts I laughed, and it was just I laughed so hard because it was so stupid.
Oh Jesus, this just looks insane.
It is because it is stupid.
Now, Rob, once again, I hate to criticize, but you didn't leave a review on Letterboxd. You left a 1 star, but we need to find like,
okay.
we need to come down with like a list, like what's a good criteria for a Robzilla Tubi pick, and like make it like he can give it like what are your thoughts in this area? What made this the shittiest of this of that or whatever. Well, we'll work on that.
Yeah.
A group of teenage girls summons an ancient man-eating shark after messing with a spirit board that washes up on the beach. An occult specialist must enter the shark's realm to rid this world of the deadly spirit ghost once and for all.
They couldn't even get a proper Ouija board. It looked like just it was so fucking awful.
I was like, can we get a trailer of this? I haven't even watched the trailer yet.
I was at the beach and I found this Ouija board in the water.
Haven't I told you not to fool around with those things?
It's just a game.
It's not like a live movie.
At least I thought it was.
Remember, this is only the honorable mention.
Oh my god. Is that a shark?
Ghost.
There's something you don't see every day.
I think he somehow summoned it out of the board.
Oh my god.
Why would anyone want to summon a shark?
What was the deal with the Dr. Strange?
So the dude dies, he becomes a spirit, and he's fighting the spirit shark. And that's like,
oh my god,
he's like spirit shields, and he like makes like a fucking beam.
You know, I gotta say that
it's an average score of 1.8.
That's given.
What's the top review? I don't know if my review and your review is the top.
What do you get? Why do you give me your toughest battles, Lord?
I think that's right.
Go shark, go shark. Look, there's no point trying to make a movie that's worse than Things. It just ain't gonna happen. But way to give it a try. Okay, this must be like people that watch this are just fans of shitty movies in general. Man. I just can't waste my time with it.
I gotta say that That's not even what I was expecting.
Right,
either.
Right.
right.
Like in my mind, I have a good idea for a good Ouija shark movie. Like, like people are like out on a boat and they're playing with the Ouija board on a boat. And the ghost shark shows up and like sinks the boat or something,
Oh,
Right,
the amount of shitty.
And you do like a Jaws on the boat kind of thing.
The amount of
No, that
shitty
was not
movies.
it. That
No,
was
the
not
amount of
it.
shitty B movie shark movies are on there. They have Mummy Shark on there. So bad.
That trailer was worth it just to hear Rob to the left and his.
I
It's
know,
so
dude.
bad. It's funny.
That trailer got Rob right in the funny bone.
That was a genuine laugh from him too. He
It's
was
so
all
bad,
over it.
man. It's so funny though. It helps when like people are laughing because you know how absurd and stupid it is.
All right, what's up next? Bud?
So this movie is actually pretty good.
All right.
So it's called yes. I ran into you at the store today. I was telling you about it.
Is it really good?
Is it? So it's called Don't Buy the Cellar.
Okay. So are you going to read it, or you read it? It's your section.
No, yeah, I'm getting long into it so I can read the synopsis of it here.
Well, hurry the fuck up.
Suhan buys a washing machine on a website for used merchandise. When she receives a washing machine, she realizes the machine is broken. She becomes angry and leaves comments on the website warning other users about the seller. She receives a threatening message from the seller. Soon, Suhan experiences creepy things happening to her. So basically, finds out this man is a serial killer.
Serial killer?
Serial killer. So he's a serial killer. So he starts messing with her. Bad. Like, so it's intense because it's just a lot of people now, they go to Facebook Marketplace, they buy stuff.
Right.
So that's what I like about it. Cause she makes a post like, hey, don't buy from this guy. He's selling horrible shit. It doesn't work. So he starts messaging her back like, you need to take down the post or things are going to start happening. So
yeah.
So he starts like sending like, DoorDash orders to her unit, like, oh, you order this, like pizza, chicken, all this stuff. And then he starts sending guys he finds out where she lives.
Oh no.
He starts sending guys there saying that she's looking for a good time, her and her husband. So somehow they have the key code to get into her apartment, and then they open the door and they're like, hey, let me in, I'm here for a good time. She freaks the fuck out, and it's scary. So it goes on through the movie like that, and it turns out the guy's a serial killer. He he goes to buy something, he kills him, and then he starts selling all the people's belongings out.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I liked it. It's really good. It gets a little bit wild like the last like 15-20 minutes, but it's really good. The build up is really good. I think it's labeled as
괜찮네.
it's
장난 거네. 저희도 뭐 권성을 수사하고 뭐 그러지 않거든요.
비밀 때문에 그 처분. 다 걸렸어. 보세요.
우리는 구체적인 혐의가 있어야 결제가 납니다.
그러니까 계속 이러고 살라고요?
Okay.
그 안에 계세요. 아니 딱 봐도 같은 놈인데 왜요?
무슨 소리하고 있어?
그놈이 거기 있었습니다. 우리 근처에 같이 있었다고요.
그놈이 우리를 찾으면요? 범인 얼굴을 아는 사람이 나밖에 없잖아요. 한번 해봐야죠.
Oh my god.
It's really good.
Really good, huh?
I always look to see if anybody else I know watched the Tubi movies. And the Film Diva from TikTok also has a review of it. She gave it 3.5 stars, same as Robzilla. So,
okay,
probably not a terrible movie.
It's got an average rating of 3. So, I mean, we're
in the ballpark.
Yeah, we're in the ballpark for a decent movie.
I do like this.
Speaking of Film Diva, here you go. You on the Catching Me on Facebook, Mark. You on the Catching Me on. I think she means you won't be. Yeah, you won't be catching me on Facebook Marketplace anytime soon.
I like this review from Denzel Tan. If I had that much food arriving on my doorstep, I'd thank the motherfucker.
I mean, they're like back to back. They're like, oh, you order this, you order this. They're like back to back to back.
Was excited for Killer. I mean, some people are just so bland in their reviews, you know.
Yeah.
was excited for Killer. Man, okay, so I mean, there's some decent picks there. Good job.
You got your shitty one, and you got one that it's pretty decent.
Good job, buddy. Good job.
Good job. Round of applause for this fucker.
So that moves us on to our next segment. What's everybody watching? We gotta hurry through this. You know, we got about 20 minutes left, I want to say. So PBS, what have you been watching? Here comes the list of 50 items here.
Yep. No, let's see here. Where did we stop last time? I don't remember if I talked about it on the last show, but I watched the Lord of the Rings, the War of the Rohirrim, the animated movie.
Oh yeah, how was it
on Max? That was really good.
I've heard people like that one. Really
I ended up giving it a 3.5. It was it brought back some of those Lord of the Rings feels. I was really into it. It's see if it tells me here. I don't remember.
Oh my God.
I don't remember the character's name, but it's about like one of the daughter of the king of Rohan. And all that stuff. So it's really just like people versus people kind of stuff. But it takes you back to like some of the same places from the Lord of the Rings movies.
All right.
And it's just really good. I think I wanted to see it in theaters, but I don't know. Last year I didn't get to theaters nearly as much as I should have.
You didn't?
Yeah, you
didn't even go with us a lot.
I know. Just it's one of those years for movies for me.
You're a shitty person. What can we say?
Telling me. So that is or was on Max. Yeah, so it's still on Max, but you should definitely check that out, whether you're a Lord of the Rings fan or not.
Okay, I'm down.
Let's see here. I watched. I was in the mood for some '90s action. I watched Wesley Snipes' Drop Zone.
Is that with Gary Busey?
Yep, Gary Busey's the bad guy. That was '94.
Skydiving.
I really want to rewatch Passenger 57, but that's another one that does never seem to be streaming anywhere. But that's where he was like. I think he works for that. I can't remember if he works for the Treasury Department or something, but his brother gets killed with a rescue unit guy. Well, the bad guys are rescuing a guy, and then he's got to go learn how to be a skydiver and all that. It's a very, not as good Point Break movie.
Yeah.
I only gave that one a 3 star. But it was a fun watch to revisit. Another one of those ones that used to play on TNT all the time. That I was kind of happy to okay, that was fun. I did watch one called True Crime from '95. And it's another one, like so it's kind of in a 90s mood, and it has Alicia Silverstone in it and Kevin Dillon, and she's like a true crime fanatic, and remember this is back before podcasts and all that. And there's like a string of murders that happen that she's been kind of paying attention to, and one of them happens like in her town or whatever, and she kind of starts digging into it to see what's going on, and she's like gets involved with the cops, and her dad was an ex-cop, and he got killed or he died, in a whatever gone wrong.
Right.
And this wasn't a very good movie. It very much felt like it should have been like a TV movie or something.
It sounds like a TV movie.
I only ended up giving it a 2.5, but it's really weird, I guess. And it was under some name, a different name than True Crime also, but it just kind of reminded me of like all the weirdness that was sort of around Alicia Silverstone back then. Like there's a romance. She's in high school in the movie, and has like this sort of romance with Kevin Dillon, who plays a cop. So presumably he's like in his early 20s.
It sounds familiar. It's been years since I've seen it.
And the actual movie, or in real life, Alicia Silverstone hadn't turned 18 yet either. And remember she did that movie like The Crush, and she had some of those other movies. And it just
wasn't the one called The Babysitter one too?
I think that's
weird. Yeah,
we've talked about The Babysitter on here before.
It kind of took me back to the 90s and how kind of weird people were around her right then. And it's like the movie kind of captures that vibe too of like Kevin Dillon, why are you hanging out with this high schooler? I decided one night to rewatch The Three Ninjas because that was streaming on Prime or something.
Yeah,
that
buddy.
was a fun one. I think I talked about that one last time.
Yeah, buddy.
Porco Rosso is one I finally watched. It's a Studio Ghibli movie where Porco Rosso is a pig who flies planes in Italy in like pre-World War II or whatever. And you might have seen the screenshot where he's like, I'd rather be a pig than a fascist.
Yeah.
And I'm not like a big Studio Ghibli person. I haven't watched too many of them.
My wife is.
I would have watched this one sooner if I'd have known that Michael Keaton is the voice actor in the American dub, which I didn't know. I was like, oh, I definitely watched that. But that was a really good one. I think I ended up giving that one like a 4 stars. The Studio Ghibli movies are pretty beloved, so people should definitely check that one out. Rewatched Real Genius for the first time in a long time.
Love it.
You should really watch that and realize, I think Val Kilmer's name in the movie is Chris Knight.
Yeah.
Elon Musk wishes he was Chris Knight.
That's the best way to sum it up. Yeah.
And I think if you watch the movie with that in mind, it will explain a lot about poor old Elon. Rewatched The Saint for the first time in a long time. Like I say, you can maybe just keep that one in your memory.
If that ain't the truth.
Yeah. I mentioned earlier on that I made one of my first ever TikToks, and I was just talking about, it was Anthony Perkins, the anniversary of his birthday. So I sat down and rewatched Psycho 2 and 3 earlier in the week or whatever. And those, Psycho is a classic. And I think a lot of people sleep on, like, Psycho 2 is maybe one of like the best sequels ever, especially when you're considering that you've got to hold it up to a classic movie.
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely worth a watch for anybody who's not seen it. A horror fan, a Hitchcock fan, it's definitely worth checking out. Psycho 3 was directed by Perkins, not quite as good as Psycho 2, but it does go a little off the rails, and it's a fun time. So definitely for the horror people, they should definitely check that out. And the last one I'll mention here is I sat down and watched the Netflix series Adolescence, just because a lot of people were talking about it.
Yeah. I've been meaning to watch it and just haven't found the time yet.
And it's about it's only 4 episodes. They're all like 50 minutes long. They're supposed to be one take.
Yeah, you can tell.
So I don't know if they were actually one take or not, but I know they tried really hard to do it. And a boy is accused in the very first episode of murdering a girl, and they take him to the police station and all that. And we kind of learned through the episodes that there's like, he was into the manosphere and red pilling and all that. And it's all kind of like this study of sort of, I don't want to say manliness, but it's kind of like, how's the father handling this? There's there's a male police officer who has to interact with his son because his son's a student at the school where the two kids went. And it's kind of this exploration of that in this, internet age. And it's really good. Like I say, there was a time where I would say, like, oh, I didn't graduate that long ago. People like, oh, the kids are this and the schools are this. But it's been like 20 years now since we all graduated.
Yeah.
So it's like, so I'm to the point now where I'm definitely not comfortable saying, like, yeah, I don't really know what school's like. I assume it's mostly like when we went.
Yeah.
But, kids have phones. Everybody's got a phone these days. Everybody got a smartphone these days.
It's completely different.
Yeah.
I think we can say.
Yeah.
We, people have talked about it before. Like, the internet used to be a place you went to. You went to the computer room. You went to the family room, the guest bedroom that had the computer in it, whatever it was. You got online, and maybe we'll talk about this a little more here when we get to Y2K. And that was what it did. And then you left, and you weren't on the internet anymore. Maybe you had a cell phone back then. Maybe. Or, you're probably still calling your buddies on the landline. Like, hey, are we getting together tomorrow at 9:00? All right, I'll see you then.
Or you might have a pager.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
And Adolescence kind of gets into some of that stuff. I've said it before, I'm not a big fan of like the one take stuff. And, the acting is the actors had to be prepared to do these long takes. And it kind of shows a little bit in the acting. Like if obviously if you were doing a specific scene and that kind of stuff, it would be a little more, I don't know if like crisp or tight is the word. Same for the editing. And that kind of personally bothers me just a little bit, just because I'm not super into that stuff. But it is interesting, and it does give the series a different feel than a lot of things. And like I said, it's 4 episodes. I gave it 4 stars. Probably not something I'd ever watch again, but it's definitely something worth watching at least once.
Okay.
Robzilla gave it 2 stars, by the way.
Shit!
I should be 3 when it should be 2.
No, it should. It should be 3.
Yeah.
It should be 3.
I've been watching a lot of old wrestling. If you follow the WWE, and now there's a WCW channel.
Oh wow!
They're putting like old like VHS tapes. They're putting like the whole tape. They're putting like whole pay-per-views. A lot of that stuff has been available if you have the WWE network and stuff, which I don't. So it's kind of cool to see them on YouTube. So I'll be like, oh, I gotta finish dinner and go to bed here in a half an hour. Let me just watch some of Slamboree 93 or whatever, and
That's
watch
awesome.
a couple matches.
That's great. Halloween Havoc.
All right, buddy.
All right, so I watched a documentary called "Gone Girls: The Long Island Serial Killer." That was on Netflix, so really good.
He loves this documentary.
I get in the documentary kick. Of course, I watched.
We need to give him his own documentary segment.
Right.
And then I did watch some movies for Val Kilmer. I checked out Den of Thieves 2 Pantera on Netflix. I liked it. A lot of people didn't like it because it's more of a heist movie, so not really actiony, but I enjoyed it.
I've never seen the first one.
I like the first one,
and a lot of people I follow have some good things to say about it. I think they're both streaming right now.
Yeah, I think they're both on Netflix. Yeah,
I've been meaning to get around to checking out both.
First one was dope, man.
Yeah,
I hear a lot of people have good things to say about it.
I went with my buddy Miller, and we were like the only white people in the theater.
Yeah, well, 50 cents in it. So
yeah, I thought it was a little disappointed. I'm like, why did white people not like this movie? Like, what's the problem?
Yeah,
it was a good movie.
Let me see here. There's a brand new anime series I watched, Devil May Cry. So based off the video games, it's on Netflix. Like 8 episodes, like 30 minutes.
Did you jerk off to it?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't do all that.
I didn't know if there was like a hot anime chick in there, and you were like, "Oh my god,
look at them titties bounce."
Robzilla, he needs his own Tubi segment. He needs his own anime segment.
Dude, like I
really should have like an anime booby.
Well, I used to be on anime, but like there's just so like I'm nothing compared to these other people who like podcasts about stuff like that now. I'm nothing. But
that's right, you are nothing.
I am nothing.
Just remember that, Rob.
And then I was on a kick for the movie called The Roundup with Don Lee, who played in Train to Busan. So they have all 3 out. So I watched all 3 of them. They're basically, to sum it up, they're like the Korean version of John Wick. I mean, he's like a boxer who's a detective, and just like he hits someone, they go like 8 feet. It's just hilarious. They're fun movies.
I feel like I've heard some good things from people who follow those.
They're good. They're good
movies.
Detective show, and it's fun.
Is it now?
Yeah. And then let me see here. And then I did watch. I forgot to put this on here. I watched Sicario, part 2, the second one.
My dad was watching that the other day. I'm like, really,
dude? Like the second scene it's crazy with suicide bombers. It's wild.
I wasn't really into the first one.
I like the first.
I'd like to
one.
rewatch them again and see if I'm enjoying them a little better.
Well, it's it's all Josh Brolin and Benicio del Toro makes that movie. And then I finally finished the series. It finally came out, but I didn't get a chance to watch the second season. I watched Hellbound. It's a Korean
porno.
It's a Korean drama. It's 2 seasons. It's
drama with gay porn in it.
Yeah, exactly what it is. So it deals a lot with religion. So basically, to sum it up, is people all of a sudden started getting, they're called decrees. So basically, some figure shows up and says, "You're going to die in 3 days at this time."
With butt plugs, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's how
you better jerk it now.
So then, when the time comes,
it does come, doesn't it?
Oh, it does come. I'm gonna come.
Now we know what we need to just do with Rob every day. Like turn all of Rob's like watching into gay porns.
So then these creatures show up and basically like beat the shit out of them.
With
and
giant dildos.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
They're giant black dildos is what they look like.
Okay.
And then they and basically this burn them alive and kill them. And basically it follows like it takes place between like a 15 years. So it just skips through. So they kind of left it on a possible 3rd season, but I don't think it's getting picked up or renewed. But it's good. It's really interesting, especially this type of atmosphere with dealing with religion and dealing with psychopaths
and gay stuff, right?
And gay stuff as well. Butt plugs.
Okay.
And that's really about it.
Okay. Excellent. All right.
And yourself, sir? What about you?
Okay, so I had to watch Tombstone. I watched Batman Forever. Got my Val Kilmer in, and The Saint. Y2K, which we'll talk about here in a minute. And then I watched Playing with Gerard Butler and the guy from Evil. What is his name?
Michael Coulter. Is that right?
Hold on, I gotta get it here.
That's another one I've heard.
It was
pretty solid.
Yeah, it was
not
decent.
Great or anything, but pretty solid.
So they're on this commercial flight, and they so here's the synopsis for it. After a heroic job of successfully landing his storm-damaged aircraft in a war zone, a fearless pilot finds himself between the agendas of multiple militias planning to take the plane and it's passengers hostage. But one of the passengers is a former military guy. He's been arrested, and they're kind of what do they call that when they bring somebody that's wanted from another
extradition?
Yeah, they're like extraditing him, and long story short, when they crash the plane, his air marshals or whatever the fuck they are, they die because they weren't buckled in. They hit the ceiling, and so he has to babysit him, and he kind of comes to the conclusion like, I need this guy's help, so I have to handcuff him, and it's a race of them trying to survive until the company that owns this airplane sends a militia in to pretty much get everybody out before they all get killed. But yeah, it was a solid movie, man.
I think I heard somebody say like Gerard Butler is like kind of the new king of these B action.
He really is.
He is,
And I'll watch every one of them. I'll watch every one of them. Mike Coulter, you're right, buddy. You had that down. He's really good, dude. He needs to get more roles.
Yeah.
And then, man, I've been on this TV kick. I'm watching. What is it? The Studio with Seth Rogen.
I've heard about that.
I've heard
that is a great show, man. I think we're like 3 or 4 episodes in now, but really good, really funny, and I'm into it. Like, if you're a movie fan, you're gonna fucking love that show. Another Apple TV Plus,
of course,
banger, man. God, man, they just make such good shows. I like, even the shows that aren't that good are still good.
Quality, anyways.
Yeah. And then, I had to watch the season finale of The White Lotus. Such a great show.
Me and my wife's going to start that. She wants to watch it.
Dude, it ended so crazy. And I mean, just about every season ends crazy, but this one was just like, I was heartbroken after it. Absolutely heartbroken. And I'm sad that Hot Sauce isn't here. Of course, I didn't think he would be here, so I didn't, invite him. That's my fault. I was, a little late on planning this episode out. You guys kept asking me, and I was like, I'll tell you 4 hours before.
Sound like a CIA agent.
Giving you guys a taste of your own medicine here.
No problem.
But yeah, White Lotus, phenomenal show. If you haven't watched it, watch it. I mean, every season is great. They pack the show. Every season has all kinds of, notable actors in it. So, I mean, and the writing's so well done. Like, it's just great. It is great. And then the season finale of The Pit was on Thursday.
I'm going to start that.
Bro, that is just such great television right there. It is so fucking good. And, like, you watch it for Noah Wyle, because, I mean, everybody knows Noah Wyle.
Yeah.
But then these other people that are in it, they just shine, and you fall in love with the characters, and you're rooting for them. And I don't think we're going to get the same people for season 2, which kind of bums me out a little bit, but I'm all for the formula they're using, that 24 every episode's an hour of the day. Like,
I like that. I
love that, dude. It's so good.
In ER set atmosphere, basically.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I watched American Prime Evil on Netflix.
I haven't watched that. I have that saved.
Bro, it's good.
Good.
It's good. And it's brutal. Like, every episode, like, either, by the end or the beginning, like, there is some brutal, like, fighting between the Mormons and the Indians. And
I like to hear.
We have to be proper nowadays and say Native Americans.
I better see some scalps.
Yeah. There's, like, in the very first episode, they try to scalp this dude, and they don't. He gets shot or something while he's trying to scalp this guy, and they fucking stitch this guy's head up, and the whole, like, every episode, this guy gets crazier and crazier and crazier until he just loses his shit. And it's amazing, though. Like, I don't know if it's, like, based off of anything. I'm not, a historian in that era,
like based off Deadwood.
Yeah, because it's like the Mormons are kind of at war with the U.S. They want their own state where they can practice and have as many wives as they want and all that.
That sounds familiar.
And yeah, and they're kind of battling it out with the local tribes that are there, and between the tribes, the Mormons, and the government, and people just trying to make a living out there, for prosperity and stuff. It's quite an adventure. But yeah, you'll dig it. And Betty Gilpin's in it. She's the star of it. And look, Rob's like, look, the equations are coming up on his head.
It's like the Green Hornet.
Glow.
Oh, okay.
She was the opposite character of our
Allison
girl.
Brie.
Yeah, she was the
Liberty Bell.
Liberty Bell, yes, Liberty Bell. But she's another one. She's good, dude. Like, she is really a master at acting, and like, I hope she keeps getting bigger and bigger roles.
Yeah.
But that's what that was like my thing. And then I watched obviously Y2K and the Bondsman, which we're getting into right now.
Then also honorable mention, Daredevil.
Oh yeah,
Born Again.
Daredevil. Yeah, I've been watching Daredevil. We haven't really even talked about Daredevil a whole lot because this fucker won't watch it.
Yeah,
You're missing out, dude. Daredevil is
one more episode.
I can't believe I forgot that.
One more episode.
No Disney Plus, no Apple Plus, plus my ass.
Man, you just need to pay the money. You can afford it. Yeah, dude. I can't believe I forgot to mention Daredevil. Daredevil's been like my shit every Tuesday.
One more episode.
I know, and I'm so sad that they teased us with Punisher, and we haven't gotten a goddamn thing since then.
Talk about acting, man.
Yeah, everybody's crushing it.
Oh my god, dude!
And I mean,
there's already pictures of them leaking season 2 already.
Oh, thank God!
They got you get the black suit with the E's on them.
Good.
Yeah.
But man, that's been like my thing. Tuesdays don't bother me after 9. At 9 o'clock, I'm watching Daredevil.
Yep.
And like it's been like a drama fed action, gritty. I mean, it's so well put together. And I mean, the Daredevil shows were always good, but this season in particular has been very good.
Some people are not happy with certain things, but I get it. But
it's much more of a Matt Murdock show at this point. I'm enjoying it. It's different from the other seasons.
So complaining. You got Charlie Cox as a great Matt Murdock, so it's fine.
I'm enjoying some of the scenes of him, being a lawyer and just different things between him and his his relationships and stuff. It's been good, genuinely good, man. And the action's just killer.
And Wilson Fisk.
Yeah, I will say there is this like issue I have with him like being like slightly retarded. Like it's weird, like the way he acts sometimes.
It's just he's very I say spectrum wise, maybe.
Yeah. Like I probably shouldn't say retarded there, obviously. But very it seems
it's more like socially awkward.
Yeah. And, like I never got that impression from the Kingpin growing up, and watching Spider-Man, the animated series, and then seeing Kingpin in certain comic books. Like I always found him to be like a powerful not awkward guy, like like, so it's a little weird.
He's a gangster.
Scene.
He's a kingpin.
Yeah, exactly. And it's their take is a little weird, but once again, I've got Vincent D'Onofrio right up there on the mantle autographed, and
I mean, there's nobody else who can do it better than Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, I mean, it's like he is like the on-screen Kingpin now. So I mean, that's the reference that people are going to use for a long time. But
said, get your ass to an art museum.
Yeah, he did. He told that kid, he was like, get as much art as you can. But I loved like there's one episode where his wife tries to have him assassinated, and he's just fucking chilling, eating dinner. He's got the whole restaurant closed off for himself, and this guy's sneaking up behind him, and then all of a sudden he just gets shot by his bodyguard that's in the shadows.
Thank you, Buck.
He's like, yeah, thank you. And then he's still eating, and he's like, call Vanessa and ask her if she wants me to have something brought home for her.
He says the proper name, but it's like this fancy dish.
Yeah. It's just so badass, dude.
He's basically the new Wesley from Daredevil this first season.
Yeah. But so moving on, we're at the tail end here. These are our last 2 segments. The Bondsman, Kevin Bacon's back, man. This is on Amazon Prime. Was there 8 episodes?
8 episodes, about 30 minutes, 35 minutes.
Yeah, they're not very long. No. I was kind of surprised by that.
I thought they're gonna be like an hour long show.
Yeah. But it works. It works. It's good.
I like it.
But it's basically, this guy's Kevin Bacon plays a bondsman, and the show opens up with him going to collect a guy, obviously, and he gets murdered by a couple of thugs. And what happens is he's laying there bleeding out, and all of a sudden he comes back to life. And we find out that the devil essentially has brought him back to life to do his bidding and to reclaim demons that have escaped hell and are causing trouble on earth. And it's pretty good, man. It never really takes itself 100% seriously, but it's fun. It's got a nice surround, trio of cast, I guess you could say, between him, the mother, and his wife.
Yeah.
And the son's in there occasionally, but this is a guy, he gets a second chance, and he realizes like I don't want to fuck this up and go back to wherever I was.
Yeah.
And he, the show is basically him rounding up demons essentially, and then he's dealing with his wife's boyfriend that hates him, and he's actually the guy that has him killed. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But a phenomenal show. I enjoyed it.
First episode, you kind of know.
Yeah, you find all this out. Yeah. But I really enjoyed it. I mean, how about you?
It's a fun show. I feel like it's a mixture of Evil Dead with supernatural. That's what it is.
Yeah, gay porn.
It's a fun aspect of it with a little bit into the seriousness of it, but I enjoyed it. It's fun. There's a couple of, I think the first episode, there's a holy shit moment.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck? What are we getting into?
I mean, it's got a nice amount of horror-esque gore, and there's some mouth-dropping moments in every episode where you're like, God damn, dude, like these demons are ruthless.
And
I like that it's not easy for him.
Yeah.
Like you shoot these demons and they keep coming at you. And, like, I mean, you really, and they're torn because they know all these people that get possessed.
Yeah.
And, like one of them's like a pastor.
Yeah.
A preacher, and they're like, oh, don't kill Father Watchin, and he's like, it's a little too late for that.
Yeah, but say the person's dead. They're just wearing their suit. They're wearing their body as a suit.
And, if you're a country music fan, you'll like it because, the backstory is him and his wife were in a country band, and, occasionally they have flashbacks of that where they're singing in their band and stuff like that. And then it ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready for season 2 already.
Yeah. Well, then you kind of, you learn because he gets brought back, but they're like, well, why did he even get sent to hell for? He's like, why? Yeah. And they're like, he's like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
You fuck it too, Kevin. Don't bullshit here.
Kevin Bacon is awesome in this.
Yeah.
It's nice to see Kevin Bacon back doing something
He's
good.
in his 60s.
Yeah, he really is.
Mm-hmm.
He's in great shape though.
Right.
So, and if you're a female and you love Kevin Bacon, there's a couple of just him and his boxers
walking
scenes.
around.
Yeah.
In blood.
Trying to tell me Robzilla can't enjoy Kevin Bacon walking around in his boxers?
I'm telling you, Rob definitely enjoyed it.
It was sent over the top if you start dancing to Footloose.
Yeah.
Like Rob sending you a selfie, and like every time you just see Kevin Bacon in the background with his box. I'm like, Rob, are you watching that same episode again?
Do you think when
I am.
You think when Kevin Bacon introduces himself to people, he's like, I'm Kevin Bacon. I'm a goddamn legend.
Yeah. He really should.
He should. Yeah.
That's going to be like, I'm quoting that guy for the rest of my life. Like going to a job interview. Yeah, I'm such and such. Goddamn legend.
It says right there on the application, right there.
If you couldn't read that on my resume,
yeah,
it's not a joke. I am a goddamn
So you don't
legend.
have anything on here, but you just says you're a goddamn legend. He's like, that's all you need to fucking know.
Yeah. But the Bondsman is a must watch.
Yep.
We are highly recommending you watch it. Amazon Prime. That kind of sucks though with all the fucking commercials now. And I just I can't force myself to do the ad free.
Yeah.
I'm like, I give them enough money.
I feel like I get a break to go do something I need to do.
Going back to our social media talk. I mean, it's earlier. It's the same with all these streaming companies. They're all getting just shittier and wanting more money.
Yeah.
They're ruining everything, man. And it's like my TV is an Amazon Fire TV. And if you're not active on it a while, a fucking ad pops up on it as a screensaver. Like, come on. Do we have to, like, why does my TV have to have an ad on it when it goes into like a screensaver mode?
I don't know why I have to have a subscription for MGM Plus.
What was that?
A subscription for MGM Plus. That's the gripe.
That's another one. Like
they own MGM. Yeah. Just included in Prime. Like they're so fun. And it bothers me that they're wasting, like, all these people are just hemorrhaging money. And it's like, how?
And also we watch From as well, the newest season from
From
MGM
was
Plus,
good.
since we said that. So,
but it's like Tubi. When you pause Tubi, there's an ad that pops up.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
It's free.
It's free.
Yeah,
It's free. Put in your email. It's free.
But yeah, man, fuck these people that like, why can't we figure out a way to monetize this without ruining the viewers' watching experience? Like, there's got to be a way we can monetize this.
They know. They just don't want to do it
and make the money that you can make off advertising without ruining everybody's watch through. You know,
It's almost like I almost wish we'd just go back to cable.
Yeah.
Because at least back then, you're getting a TV show with 24 episodes.
Yeah.
You're getting another season next year if it gets another season.
Well,
the actors are all being paid. The writers are all being paid. They all have steady jobs. You're not waiting 3 years for the next season.
And even like with regular like TV that was on cable TV or whatever, like you could go a couple extra seasons to pick up the momentum because you had ad revenue essentially. And even if you didn't have like 100% ad revenue, like you had the ad revenue from other successful shows that, you could slide a little bit over.
You could let the show go. And because there wasn't new content all the time back then,
yeah,
you could replay the episodes in like the summer or something, and a show would take off in the replays.
Yep. It's crazy. All right, it's time for our last segment here. We're going to talk about Y2K. Are you ready, Rob?
It's a fun movie.
I had a lot of fun watching it. How about you, PBS?
I didn't like it as much as you guys did, but it is a fun watch.
Yeah.
You still liked it, though.
Yeah, it was a good time.
What a trip down memory lane. Like the opening of that movie just brought it flooded so many memories back.
Yeah.
And like it just opens with a AIM conversation. Like he's talking to this chick.
AOL.
And, yeah. And you see their screen names, and it just brought back a ton of memories. I was like, holy shit, man. Like I totally forgot about, AIM and stuff like that. And then he had remember the players that we would have that you could load your MP3s into, and you could have all kinds of cool skins for them and stuff like that. Like we don't have any of that anymore. And
look what they took from us.
They really did. They took a lot of cool shit away from us, but I really enjoyed it. And it made me think of when I dated this girl years ago. We had each other's AIM passwords. I don't know why. Maybe it's just some kind of level of trust or something.
Right.
But like,
is that like the 2000s version of couples who have the same Facebook page?
Yeah, it's basically what it is.
Not quite as bad, but
it's in the ballpark there.
You definitely weren't talking to another chick, like because you could see everybody's conversations or whatever. But yeah, it reminded me of a time where this girl I dated at the time, she would log into my AIM, and you could make like different sub lists and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she would write me like letters as the sub list. So it'd be like this giant like letter in the list. And I just, it made me think of happier days for sure. But man, if you're from our era, that 99 to 2000 era, like this movie is for you. Like you're going to find something redeemable about this, whether it's the nostalgia that you get or, the fun horror-esque type of movie that you enjoy. Like it's a good movie.
Well, like it's got practical effects. It's all, nothing CGI really.
Yeah, no, not a whole lot.
Yeah, it's just it's a lot of nostalgia, and then like there's of course this kid, he really likes this likes this girl, and of course she's a nerd, but she's popular, so you get that feeling too. Like, I really like this chick, but then like you get picked on, you're like
right.
It's like, man,
I guess for like guys like us that were never like
the
popular guys or whatever, you just kind of had some relation to it.
Well, I messaged you too, like, man, that was a good movie, but man, I got brought back some shit. I got depressed.
Yeah. I got some issues with my high school times, that I got to work out here.
But I was telling him, like, I was halfway through, I gave it a 3, but then there's a couple scenes where I laughed so hard. It bumped it up to a 4. I mean, that's just it was for me.
Fred Durst really made the movie.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert here.
Yeah, but there's a character by the name of Garrett who steals the show. So, and by the way, the
is
guy,
that the big kid?
No.
Garrett's the stoner.
The stoner.
He's the best character in the movie.
He's the director of the movie.
Yeah, I
didn't know that.
That's
Kyle Mooney.
Yeah, Kyle Mooney from SNL.
I tell you what,
he's good, dude. He's so good in that show.
And the two like
he's got like the full on like poncho,
the
dreadlocks. Yeah.
One of my, he's a video store clerk.
Yeah.
Who's the guy who gets high as well, but he's wearing later in the movie. He's wearing that like hoodie that like the stone, like I don't know.
It's like a poncho hoodie or something.
It's like a Rastafarian.
Yeah,
like,
I always call it a
Jamaican
hemp hoodie.
Yeah.
Even though I have no idea what it's called.
Yeah.
But there's a point in the movie where he's fighting the robot or he's distracting it. and he pulls out the thing. I don't even know what it's called, but it's the 2 sticks.
Yeah.
And you hit the
yeah.
the baton back and forth. I don't even remember what that's called, but that was like every, not even stoner, but like wannabe stoner in high school.
Hippie.
They had the picture right there.
Yeah.
They had the hacky sack, and then when hacky sacks got boring, they got that thing.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what it's called, but it's like they hit the sticks back and forth.
Yeah, but
and when he busted that out, I did.
It
bust
was
out
like
laughing.
almost like kind of like a yo-yo type thing.
Yeah,
They would
you
like balance them.
and
and
knock 'em back and
You
forth.
flip them back and forth. Yeah.
Oddly enough, yesterday I think it was, I saw a TikTok of a woman like cleaning out her stuff from the barn at her parents' house, and she had one of those, and she did it. Was still pretty good at it.
I'm trying to look for like.
We're about to transcend.
Yeah, see, it's like some kind of like poncho hoodie or
Yeah,
some
I don't
shit.
like. I always called them like the hemp hoodie, and there was like the hat that kind of they'd have with it.
Yeah, the Bob Marley hoodie.
Here's a cool guy. Yeah, he's pretty cool for a white guy with dreads.
He was so cool, dude. And he worked at the video store or whatever. Like that was it. Like he Kyle Mooney just nailed that guy, because there's that guy in every town, you know.
He had wearing sandals. He kicks them off before he smokes and puts another pair of sandals.
Yeah.
It's just stuff like that. But 2 out of 3 scenes that bumped it up it's with his character.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Oh my
definitely.
God,
like
dude, I laughed so hard at certain stuff.
I was in tears in a couple parts of Kyle Mooney's performance, man. And like I wasn't too hip on the main characters. Like they're not terribly
bad,
relatable and like rootable, you know. Like I don't like something about what's his face, this bigger guy here. Something about him just wasn't like, you just couldn't relate to him. Like he was kind of annoying at times.
Yeah, Julian Dennison. I think he played in Deadpool. I think he was like Fire Fist or whatever.
Yeah, he was in the second Deadpool.
Yeah,
and that's
like he wasn't bad in the movie, but like something about the character just wasn't. Like you couldn't root for him, you know.
Yeah,
I'm kind of with you. In a way, he's kind of like, he's just basically playing the same character from Deadpool.
Right, yeah.
And
without flame fist powers.
I'm kind of tired of like the fat friend.
Yeah.
Like I get it. You know, it's sort of like a trope or cliche or whatever. And he's funny enough in it, but like, I don't know, if I had like that friend who was just always causing me problems, I'd be like, maybe we're not going to hang out so much. Now I know they're best friends and all that, but he's always.
Maybe now that's why we know why Rob doesn't hang out with us a bunch anymore.
Of course,
we cause him problems and pick on him.
Alyssa Silverstone is the mom.
Oh, and that's another thing. She still looks great.
Yeah, she does.
Babe forever, Alicia Silverstone. Yeah, man, it's just a really good take on that era. Like they definitely did. You know, obviously, Kyle Mooney did a really great job of capturing the essence of that 99 2000 switch. And you know, that was a big thing back then. I remember going to a friend's house and nobody knew exactly what was going to happen when the clock struck midnight, you know, for Y2K. And all you ever heard about was, oh, the computers can't handle it, they're going to crash. And part of me was like, that's just bullshit. Like, why can't they recode this to, you know?
That's preposterous.
But I remember that, you know, like I went and hung out with my buddy Luke for New Year's, and I remember his brother was like, hey, you know, anything happens, I'm at this house, call me, I'll be right down the street, I'll be right back to get you. And you know,
so I think, you know, even at the time I remember thinking it was kind of overblown, but at the same time it was sort of a legitimate concern of, did we get ahead of everything? Because they worked on it for years, I think, to fix the coding problem. It was basically, you know, a lot of older computer systems, they just kind of didn't think about the time change. So when it went, you know, they used like 2 numbers basically. So what happens when it goes to 99 back to 0 and the computer doesn't understand that it's the year 2000, not the year 1900? And what problems could that cause? And luckily, I don't think there was any problems. And maybe was it because they got enough ahead of it, or because there wasn't going to be any problems? Yeah, like I say, it was maybe a little bit overblown, but a legitimate concern at the time.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, I had a good time with this movie. I gave it 4 stars. I mean,
it was a 3 for me. And then those scenes happened. It bumped up.
It was
before.
fun. Yeah, I talked to Papa Flynn about it because I was like, "You got to watch it, dude. It's a nostalgia trip." And he was like, "I didn't like it.
It's not funny or scary." I'm like, it's not supposed to be scary.
Yeah, like it's a funny, scary movie, so
Yeah.
it's not going to terrify you or anything like that. But I love that you know, all the machines came to life. And
Yeah.
boy, they
fucking up people.
They fucked up people left and right.
Yeah.
And nobody was safe. It
No.
felt like. So don't get attached to anybody. That's all I'm going to tell you. But
tie a bow, motherfucker.
If you lived through this era, which, you know, most of us did, this is a great movie to watch.
Yeah.
And even if you're younger, like, watch it and see what the time was like then, you know. It's crazy to think that this is kind of like when we were growing up, like how we thought about the 70s. Like, this is it for us, man. That depressed me a lot thinking about that. Like, we're fucking old now, man.
And it nailed it too when you have a friend who has a hot mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you looking cuter every day? You fucking hit on my mom?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
So what?
I would say part of my problem with these movies is that they hit the time period a little too hard, and that's one of my problems with it. Like I said, it does start out with the AOL AIM conversation and all that. And I wish they'd have dialed some of that stuff back a little bit, but like you said, at the same time, for us anyway, it's sort of.
Can we get that to come back? Like, why can't we get an AIM app that we can all chat on? Like, AOL is just missing the nostalgia train right now.
The one thing I like about this too, it's the 90s. It's not throwback to the 80s. Like, I think we're a little bit burned out with the 80s style, the movies. It's still fun, but I like it.
It was different, man.
It's different from
it
the
was
90s,
different. It wasn't, like you said, it wasn't this 80s kids adventure that we've been getting, you know, essentially pounded in our heads with Stranger Things
since the first season of Stranger Things.
Yeah, and you know, the copycats that have I say that lightly. I mean, who knows how many of these people had things written before Stranger Things came out.
The guy from somewhere of what?
Yeah, you know, that was cool. Sorry, dude, I bashed your movie at the time. I understood you probably wrote it beforehand, which he said he did. But and that's the thing, when something gets popular, people ride that train and keep going with it until it's burned out.
It's burned out with the 80s.
But yeah, and we got a couple 90s movies, and it was nice to see our era be highlighted and preserved, I guess you could say. But yeah, I mean, this is a movie for people our age that lived through it, obviously. But
there were, like I said, there are some moments where I was more than a 3-star, but overall I'm 3-star. But like I said, when the guy shows up with the sticks and all that, took me right back. There's a really like
dude, when they had like the lair in the abandoned place, like I was just cracking up because I'm like, that's what it was. You know, we're from that era where all these places were like abandoned.
What was
and
it called?
people
It started
hung
with a K, the connection or something like that.
Yeah, it was something
the
stupid.
collective.
The collective, yeah.
With a K.
Like I said, when you already mentioned, like when Fred Durst shows up, like it's a fun moment. He gives like an inspirational speech, and they go into like the Limp Bizkit.
And that was another thing I was talking about with Papa Flynn. He was like, "That was so stupid." He's like, "It makes no sense." I'm like,
they reference him through the entire fucking movie.
It's not 50-year-old Fred Durst. It's Fred Durst in '99. Like they dolled him up to look as young as they could, which they did a good job.
They didn't. I like that they didn't try too hard.
Yeah.
They just like they put a little makeup on him or whatever. We're like, he still looked pretty much the same anyway.
You're watching a movie, dude. Use your imagination.
I'd have liked it even less if they'd like CGI'd him young or something. Like, put some makeup on him, put his hat backwards.
That's all he did was they say, "Hey, shave back to your goatee," and
it was fine. Yeah. It was fine, and it worked. It was fun.
Like I said, there were moments going toward the end that kind of got me. And I was having some fun with it.
I gotta have faith. Man, just such a great time. We truly had like that, the end of the good days.
Yeah.
Like that. I feel like everything changed when technology kept evolving, and
to take it back, like we've talked about the whole episode with streaming and social media, and even to get like adolescents in there from Netflix, like. We really were that generation in the middle between, like, I remember like learning how to use an encyclopedia in school, and also how to use the internet to cite sources. And like, are kids still taught about like encyclopedias, or is it all internet now? You know?
Do you remember like when they would take your class down to the library,
to the computer lab, and all that?
Well,
stuff?
not even like and they were like, here's the card system. What was the card system where you
the
had
card
Index.
catalog.
yeah, and you had
index.
to, like, if you wanted to learn about somebody, you had to go to the card catalog, and then it would tell you the location of the
Yeah.
book, and you'd have to go hunt it down.
Yeah.
Like, man, the kids got it so easy nowadays.
And I feel like they're missing something.
Yeah.
And it shows in the way they use technology and stuff.
Yeah, definitely, man. But definitely a fun movie. Watch it, man. Watch it. Even if you're not from that time, watch it and just see what it was like.
It's
You know.
fun.
But fun movie. Highly recommend it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Robzilla, you gave it 4 out of 5.
Yep.
You gave it 3 out of 5 stars. So we're in that collective agreement that it's a must watch.
It is.
And you can watch this on Max. I just have a hard time saying Max. Like
HBO.
how can we say HBO Max?
Yeah. HBO Max.
Max isn't
Just like X is Twitter. They'll know
HBO
X to
Max Discovery presented by David Zaslav.
me. There you go.
all right, so that's all we have for this episode of the Sleazy podcast. Call to action, make sure you're sharing the show. Share it with one person. From there, we get another person to listen or watch. And make sure you're liking and subscribing to everything that we have, particularly with YouTube. That helps us out with the algorithm and ultimately helps us grow and get more people listening and watching. So we appreciate anybody that does that, and make sure you're just interacting with us. Tell us if you agreed with us or you didn't agree with us. Let
us know if you want to get in on the Discord. We can kind of
yeah, and you can join the Discord. There's a PBS classroom. We need to make Zilla's Tubi picks and put all those in there. Speaking of cataloging, that's the perfect place to catalog it.
Yep.
Give us a chance to bypass some of that algorithm.
Yeah, definitely.
Come straight to the source.
And if there's a movie or TV show that you don't hear us talking about and you want us to talk about it, hit us up.
Or even check it out.
Give us your Tubi.
How are they going to check it out? We need to know to check it out.
No. They need to tell us what show to check out. So
we're definitely doing that, So if there's something you want us to watch and hear our opinion on, we're more than happy to do that. Maybe not PBS, but Rob and I will check it out for sure. And as always, keep it sleazy.
Thanks for listening to the Sleazy Podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and remember, listen to Sleazy.